And while I'm waiting for anybody to come forward with questions, I actually have a couple on email that I can address as well.
Well, I don't have so much as a question as to just, this is David here, thank you very much. You're too kind, honestly. I very much want to see both events, of course. So.
I do too, and I'm, we talked at length on the podcast the other night about everything you're doing, and I got to tell you, I'm really impressed with everything you're doing. I think you're doing a fantastic job. So, and my general philosophy, and sometimes people ask me about this. I have had people ask me about, do I worry about competition between our two events? And my philosophy is if people go to Dave's event and have a great time in April, they are more likely to spend money and come to my event.
Yeah, absolutely. My only wish was that, the time was a little different where I could promote your Kickstarter at my event. That was,
it's a little unfortunate that we're both asking for money from the public at the same time, but aside from that,
we could have blown yours out, but I'll keep doing the best I can.
Anybody else? Any other questions? All right, I will answer one of the questions that came through email, which was actually about sponsorship programs. People wanted know a little bit more about sponsors. Like I said, Ashley Keller is handling the sponsorship packages for us, and we are able to bring some of the sponsors in for the Kickstarter campaign, but when you're dealing with companies, it just tends to take a little bit longer to get through and get budgets approved, so we think that a lot of that money will come through after the end of the Kickstarter campaign. Some of the things that people are really interested in, and sponsorship is hard to get in its first year because a lot of people want to really see what an event is before they put money behind it. But two of the things, we've had a lot of early interest, actually a bunch of interest come over Twitter and just through email. But two of the things people are interested in are tables at the Tasting Pavilion, which we are offering to sponsors. And again, those tables are cheaper through the Kickstarter campaign than they will be after the Kickstarter campaign closes. And then promotional materials in the gift bags. I have also had questions from particular sponsors who don't necessarily, the customers are not foodies or food consumers or diners, but they're actually the restaurants themselves or the food producers themselves or the chefs or the restaurant managers. And in order to put together something for potential sponsors that want to target that audience, I'm actually working with Kristen Adamo over at the CVB and Katrina White over at the RIEDC, and we are talking about putting together a special session just for people who are in the industry, and it will sort of be a state of culinary tourism for the city of Providence and the state of Rhode Island, and there will be some other speakers as well to sort of talk about what's going on, but really do it in sort of an industry town hall style. So I did want to answer that question.
Hi, Seth. It's Otto here.
Hi.
Hi. Did you say where you were when you were going to be releasing the full schedule for the speakers?
So, no. No, I didn't. And the answer is we haven't actually set that yet.
Okay.
So we haven't set that yet, and part of the reason why is we're going to continue to do a call for speakers probably for 2 or 3 weeks after the Kickstarter campaign concludes, and then I expect it'll take us about 2 weeks to sort of sift through all the applications we get and inquiries we get and put together a final schedule. We need to balance it in terms of both types of people who are speaking and the regions that they're coming from and things like that. So I would expect not later than June, early June, and quite possibly before then.
Great.
So, yeah. And again, Cindy, thank you for all your help and everything you've done.
It's a pleasure. You're doing a great job, Seth.
Yeah, thank you. And again, if anybody else has a question, you can just press *6. I'll answer one other question that I got over email, which is about, if this one's successful, what will the future look like, and will you do more events like this? And if so, where will they be? Will they continue to be in Providence? The goal, as I said, is to do, more events like this in the future. And yes, in Providence, to continue doing them on an annual basis in Providence, and then we would ultimately like to expand and do one a year in different regions. So we would do one in Providence every year, we would do one somewhere on the West Coast, we would do one somewhere in the South, maybe one somewhere in the Midwest. And like I said, I like the idea of doing these in smaller cities and really showing off the cuisine that they have. I think it's much more exciting to do it in places like that and really give them a chance to showcase everything that they do. Okay. Well, thank you, everybody, for joining the call. I really appreciate it. It's been fantastic. And if you have any other questions that you want to ask or anything that didn't get answered, by all means, go ahead and email me. My email is Seth, S-E-T-H, at mysterymeat, MEET.org. And you can just email me any questions that you might have. I will also be posting a recording of this call. I may actually break it into sections, and we will post it up online. But like I said, the number one thing that you can do is let people know that this is the final week for the Kickstarter campaign. We've got to let them know that, it's now or never. And our big emphasis early on was getting people to share and spread the word. But now we really need to have people come home with pledges. People need to put money up on the board if this event is going to happen. So we will reward them well for doing it, but it's time for people to really make this happen if they want to see it happen.